All right, everybody, this is a motorcycle shop, and here we focus on doing a lot of work to vintage motorcycles. And with that comes the reality of things are typically always going to be going wrong. So we have a lot of projects going on in here you guys have probably seen on the channel. And in this video, I want to take the opportunity to do a general housekeeping type thing. We'll talk about some of the projects, some of the delays that we're having with them, and how we're going to be moving forward. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we will get right into it with some Kawasaki's. Now up on the stand here is the Z1 that you guys saw in 2 videos ago before the CBX, and we have it torn down. So we're working on putting it back together, and of course you see the forks are on it, but the front wheel we have discovered has a little bit too much rust, so we're not really comfortable using this. It's too dangerous at this point. So this is unfortunately causing a major delay. So I'm getting a new set of rims and spokes on order. We're gonna end up relacing the factory hubs. So with that, we'll be restoring the hub. It's gonna get new bearings and everything. And Seth is actually over here taping up the rotor to throw a new coat of paint on because it's been resurfaced now. But that is just one example of a delay that happens in the shop, and it's hard to kind of budget time for. So now we have this bike, which is, like Lieutenant Dan right now, and it's just taking up the lift. We can't really move it, which means we can't really move other projects onto it. Now, as far as bikes taking up lift space, one that I would like to get on lift would be this KZ1000 right here. And this one's it's another customer bike, and we're just gonna be converting it to electronic ignition, so a pretty simple job. I could do the job right here, but I would sure like to use the lift. So first world problems, I know. My knees are getting old, so I like to have a lift and make it a little easier on myself when I can. So in back though, I do have another bike, which I'll show you. We might make a video on it in the future, and I think you guys are gonna be pretty excited to see it. So out back here, we have a couple sporty boys. So the one in question would be this S-Rad. It's a 97 GSXR 750. So this came in for what was expected to be a simple job of probably cleaning the carburetors, but we cannot get this thing to fire off. We haven't touched the carbs, but they look clean. This bike is in overall fantastic shape. And what happened was we did a compression check on it, and it has like very little compression on all 4 cylinders. So what I need to do is a leak down test. To do a leak down test, I need to remove the fairing so we can kind of lock the engine in place. And so I would really like to use the lift for that. And of course we can't now. So this is a little delayed until we get the Kawasaki off. This FZR, it's a FZR 1000. It's still probably 2-3 weeks out before we work on it. We need a lift for it, but that's just gonna be kind of making it run and ride as it should. So carb rebuild, that kind of thing. And then there's, of course, this go-kart you guys have probably been seeing in the background of some videos. So this is just a side project or side quest for a friend. We're gonna do some labor bartering, but I'm working on it for his kid, turning like a young kid go-kart into a medium-sized kid go-kart. So they've done a lot of work to this thing with like the wheels and tires and axle and engine and all that stuff. So I'm just tidying up some things, moving the wheel mounting points. I'm building a set of pedals for it, so we can get the brakes going. I got to extend the steering. I'm building a caliper mount out back. So yeah, this is just another one of those side projects that's taking up a little bit of time, but it's fun to do some fabrication on it. Now, right over here is something really special. This is a Triumph Rocket 3 engine. It has been in the shop for at least a couple years now. And this is actually going to be an upcoming project, and it's going to be an art display I'm going to make. So for those unfamiliar, I also like to make a little bit of art or display pieces, that kind of thing. And this is going to be something cool. So I had made a previous few videos on a GL500 engine that was new in the crate. I ended up taking that, making a display out of it, and then as a bonus, we made it run. So it's actually a running coffee table. Please go check out those videos. They're so much fun. Cheers, guys. But anyway, this one's gonna be another display. We're gonna go a different direction with it, and I'm gonna be getting started on it soon, which is pretty exciting. So I will definitely make some videos on it, or probably just one, and I think you guys are gonna like it. Now you guys hopefully saw the recent video we made on getting this zinc plating setup going. So we have done a few key changes here. Seth has been hard at work on kind of perfecting the method. So we have put our rinse tanks up here. And so now we have like an acid rinse. So like you go acid to rinse directly behind it. So actually there's no like kind of cross contamination. So we have degreaser, degreaser rinse. Then we go to the acid, and then we have acid rinse. And then we have our zinc, and then we go to the zinc rinse. So you kind of get the idea here. And then we've added a paciphate, so basically like the blue or clear final coating on it to have further protection from corrosion, and that has actually kind of been the key thing for us. Gotcha. So yeah, we're just kind of perfecting this. We're adding a little bit to the station, and it's working very well. So here you can see some examples of some hardware that Seth has been doing. These things look fantastic. And here you can kind of see in the light, there's a little bit of like blueness to it. So these ones just came out with a deeper finish, but you can see a little bit of the blue on this. And it just looks like perfectly factory. Now here we have the Honda XL185s we recently revived. So Seth and I have just been kind of playing around on those things. Insert clip here. And over here we have the CB750 chopper. All of these bikes are now for sale. So the chopper, I'm gonna make some official posts on my Instagram and Facebook today, which will be the 2 days before this video comes out. It doesn't matter, whatever. And then the 185s, I don't know when I'll make an official posting for those, but if you guys are interested, I would like to sell them as a pair. I'm thinking probably, I don't know, 2,500 bucks or something for the pair. No titles or anything, but they're great runner riders. So if you guys are interested, send me an email. I'll put a link in the description. That's the best way to get a hold of me. And then the chopper, I have that one listed up at $4,000. So of course, you guys have hopefully seen the videos on that one, but man, I had kind of winterized this thing. It hadn't been started in a few months, and yesterday just boom, just fires right up, runs great. So clear title now as well, which is cool. But yeah, this thing's ready to go, and I would love for it to go to a good home. Now over here, we have the XS400 build. So the last video you guys saw was kind of a paint reveal on this. I still have not started this bike. We're having some electrical issues, and I'm just kind of waiting to sort all of that out. And then hopefully soon, you know, we really need to do a first start on this thing, and essentially it's done after that. But, you know, I'll divulge more as we go, but yeah, this has been kind of a lingering issue right now. Now, of course, over here, we got the Bandit. This thing is somehow still for sale. I just listed it on Cycle Trader, and I immediately had a couple scam text messages, so that's cool. But yeah, somehow it hasn't sold. It's such a good bike, and I have this thing at like, I originally made the video and it was like $5,000, and I've been dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. So I've got it at like $4 grand right now. But yeah, it's a great bike. You guys can see the video. I'll link that in the description. All the details on that. Now this room's looking a little bit different. We've got rid of a couple bikes. So I actually sold a couple CB750s that I had. So they were essentially parts bikes. One of them had those Lester mags on it, and that was from the group of 8 bikes that I had bought. I had grand intentions of building them, but you know, I may have a project or two ahead of it, I don't know. So it was time to just kind of sell those and let them move on. Seth, what else we sold? Oh, speaking of things that we already sold, we actually sold the VMAX. So that was something I haven't mentioned to you guys. We're trying to thin the herd here, and I know a lot of you guys just really want to see the CBX content, and you want me to get to the Benelli, so that's really my priority right now. So we sold the VMAX, we had our fun with it, and it's off to a different home. So yeah, I'm sorry if you guys are gonna be missing that kind of content. I would have loved to have that bike stick around, but we just can't keep everything. Now back in this room, there's some new stuff maybe behind my shoulder that we haven't mentioned yet. It's gonna be really cool. But over here is the gold CB750 that we actually picked up in Iowa. And this thing, we tried to do some kind of revival up there and ride it home. It was a gigantic failure. We really tried, but it just didn't work out. So I've had a few questions on this bike as far as when we're gonna get to it, and I promise it's actually coming up pretty soon. So our first mission is gonna be to tear the engine out of this thing and start disassembling it, figure out what exactly is wrong, and then we will do a rebuild on it and start freshening up the chassis. So we're gonna do this one as kind of, I will call it a light restoration. So we'll try to clean up as much as we can. We have a lot of new parts for it. I'm not gonna make it look perfect. So it's gonna be kind of riding the lines of like Patty, my CB750, which we'll go to right now. So this is my 750. And this is a 75 model. It came out of a barn. And what I love about this is that it has its scratches and, you know, its flaws. You know, if I say patina, people actually get audibly upset. So patina, 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 patina. And yeah, they think it's lazy or something like that. But you know what? I have more fun with this bike than about any piece of shiny equipment I have. So anyway, that's all to say that this bike over here, haven't really shown that project either, that this bike over here is gonna have a little bit of wear and tear on it. It's not gonna be absolutely perfect, but it's gonna be a great survivor. And yeah, we're excited to get to this one, let me tell you. Now, besides all of the various bike projects and things like that, the weather is starting to turn and it's getting very nice outside. So we actually got to have an impromptu bike night last week, which I wasn't expecting, but it was like 79 degrees outside. I'd made a post on Monday and the event was Wednesday. I didn't expect much, but man, you guys showed up in force and it was one of the biggest ones we've had. Everybody was in a fantastic mood and oh man, it was great. So that was a great kickoff to the year and we're excited to host more. So yeah, if you guys are ever in the St. Louis area, I host a bike night here the second Wednesday of every month. It usually starts at 5 or 6 o'clock and it goes till dark. So come check it out. My Facebook page is the best way to keep track of when those events are. So definitely give me a follow there, as well as Instagram, just because, you know, shameless plug. But yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, we have a lot of projects going on all the time, and it doesn't take much for one wrench to get thrown in the mix and kind of delays everything. So of course, I really want to try to make the best videos that I can for you guys, such as that CBX video. I'm really glad that you guys like that one, but just couldn't really put it together this week with something that was like really concrete start to finish. So yeah, next week you're definitely going to be seeing something cool. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for this video. Check some other stuff out on the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Now, among all the bikes that showed up, one of them was this CL350 built by my friend James of Slipstream Creations. This is actually a bike that I revived and made some of my early videos on before he went ahead and built it. It's just an incredible bike, and it actually is for sale right now. But what was cool is that we also had the CL350 from our 48-hour challenge that we've sold, and that has been modified in keeping with the spirit that we had for the bike. So that was freaking awesome to see.
Yes.